Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. I don't really need to introduce my today's guest. Abby Johnson is one of the most recognizable anti-abortion activists in the world. Her book, Unplanned, and later a film based on it, started a massive debate in the world. Abby, thank you for finding time to be with us.
Of course, thank you.
But before we start the interview, let's see a part of the movie Unplanned.
Abby Johnson is in the other room.
Here.
Our first order of business is to present Planned Parenthood's Employee of the Year Award. Abby Johnson.
This is Abby. She's our newest volunteer escort. Abby, this is Cheryl's Alessandro.
I'd be the youngest director in Planned Parenthood history.
You'll actually be in charge of the abortions at your clinic?
I have a chance to make a real difference.
Abby, first of all, huge congratulations for this book and the movie and for the courage to tell the story.
Thank you.
And I would like to start with something probably which you already told so many times, but could you tell us about this one day which basically changed your life and what you've seen on the screen?
Yeah, I was called in to assist during an ultrasound guided abortion. Ultrasound is not typically used during an abortion procedure, but this doctor was using it that day, and I witnessed a 13-week-old baby in the womb fight for his life against the abortion instruments. And I saw then that there was humanity in the womb, and I knew that I was on the wrong side of this debate, and I had been on the wrong side of this debate for many years. So I ended up leaving Planned Parenthood and joining the pro-life fight.
And but it hasn't been easy to leave Planned Parenthood, and there have been repercussions, yes? What kind of?
Yeah, when I left and when Planned Parenthood realized that I was now pro-life and I was against abortion, they actually took me to court. They tried to get a gag order against me so I wouldn't be able to share my story and what I knew. That obviously failed. No, I mean, it was a scary time. I mean, leaving behind everything that you've known for the past 8 years, it was definitely a scary time.
So you needed to leave your friends also who identify themselves with being pro-choice.
Yeah.
And moreover, what really surprised me is the fact that you've been Episcopalian, and your church told you that you're no longer welcome.
Yeah.
How is it even possible? Is it like that abortion became kind of way of life or fashion even in the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, it's very different in the U.S., you know. Different denominations in the United States, they take a stand on abortion one way or the other. The Episcopal Church in the U.S., very for abortion. You know, our Episcopal priest would send women to my clinic to have abortions. So when I became publicly pro-life, that's when I was called in and, you know, he basically said, you're not welcome in the Episcopal Church in America anymore. And it was a shock. I mean, you would think that places of faith would want anyone, right, to come and worship with them. But in the U.S., this is just a polarized debate. It's even seeped its way into the churches.
So as the statistic shows, in 2016, there were more than 600,000 legal induced abortions reported to CDS. So I would say, just to say comparison, we are right now in Warsaw. It's one of the fourth of Warsaw. It's huge amount of babies which are not born and not given chance to live. I understand there are different situations, but in ways when abortion is treated as anti-conception, which I think started in US, your voice became so important. So tell me, you wrote a book about it. What was the best reaction to your book, and what was the worst reaction to your book?
You know, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, the book has been, along with the film, probably the best reactions that I've gotten have been from people who have said, you know, I was considering having an abortion, and now I read your book, I saw the movie, and now I'm not going to have an abortion. Now I'm going to have my child, which is, that's the whole point of why I do what I do, right? Is to save the lives of these babies. So that's probably the best reaction. But I also, surprisingly, also started hearing from other people who worked in abortion clinics who wanted to leave, who read the book, saw the movie, and they said, you know, I have a story that's similar to yours. I want to leave too. Can you help? So that was surprising. I mean, you know, worst reactions. I mean, I don't know. Being called a liar is never fun, right? But here's the thing. People who are pro-choice, people who support abortion, they have to believe that my story is a lie, right? Because if they actually believe that it's true, then that's going to change the entire debate, right? They have to admit that abortion is cruelty against a child in the womb, that it's barbaric, that it's painful for the child in the womb. So it's much easier to run from the truth and to call someone a liar than to embrace it, because then you have to turn your back on everything that you've believed. And that's hard, because I know, because that's what I did. And it's hard to realize that something that you've believed in for so long is not true.
If you'd like to put a message to people who are, for example, not sure, undecided, who also the need to face abortion, for example, but are undecided on which side they are, what would you tell them?
You know, I would tell them to read the book, read Unplanned, you know, read my story. You know, we gave a lot of information intentionally about not just the unborn, but about what abortion actually is and how it's damaging to women. I mean, I think a lot of people support abortion because they think it's helping women. But if you look at what's happening to these women, it's not helping them, it's hurting them. And so really try to gather facts, you know, look at pictures of babies in the womb. I mean, how can you look at a child in the womb and say that this isn't a child deserving of life? So, you know, gather information, read articles, and I do encourage people to read the book, Unplanned, and to also see the film.
Probably it's the best message to say, if you're not sure, read Unplanned and watch a movie which also was distributed in Polish theaters, and learn the story of Abby Johnson, who however you judge her, she is one of the most courageous person to stand up for what she believed in. And thank you for watching Poland Daily Culture.